like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. I'm so happy that this is my last review of the night. This is Married to Medicine, Season 6 Reunion, Part 3. Bravo, Andy, y'all tricked us. Like, look, this did not need to be a 3-part reunion, and that does not mean that Part 3 wasn't entertaining. What I mean is, it was damn sure a good way to get this reunion down to 2 parts. There was a lot of stuff y'all could have left out. Like, I don't need much of the back stage stuff. I don't need to see the makeup artist and hair artist brushing hair and brushing faces and brushing teeth and brushing laces and stuff like that. I don't need any of that. I don't need to see nobody come in putting batteries in bitches' backs so they can perk up on stage. Like, I'm like, this reunion could have absolutely been 2 parts. We did not need a 3-part reunion, but whatever. If you have not done so already, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to become a whole Jaybird, and all that good stuff. I'm sorry, I have to fix my boobs. Do not forget to also like, comment, and subscribe and share all that good stuff to shop my Teespring merchandise. The link is below. Follow me on Instagram, J_Lees_corner. All that information is below. Okay, it's all below. And all that good stuff. Good stuff. We did find out it's going to be a Married to Medicine LA. Okay, that series starts in March. One of the contestants' good friends is on there. It was, I still feel like this reunion did not need to be 3 parts. So, we see all the couples in the back, right? All the couples is in the back, okay? They sitting back there chit-chatting, drinking or whatever, eating a little cracker here, a little cracker there, whatever. I'm like, y'all couldn't get a room to fit everybody? There wasn't enough seats. Anyway, so they all back there looking at Greg and Quad as they're going on stage. You got, oh, Greg, this Becker to come back. Oh, Greg, just talk to her. Oh, Greg, did you know what I'm saying? Beg for forgiveness. I'm looking like, look, Quad and Greg do not need to be together. Like, at all, they don't need to be together. Okay, Quad and Greg is the perfect example of sometimes you need to divorce, or even better yet, you should not have never gotten married in the first place. We do see Quad and Greg, there. Okay, they just there. First things first, why they in matching blue? Like, matching blue. It almost, I'm like, are they setting us up for the okie doke? Like, is Quad and Greg really working together to get themselves a bigger payday? Cause I'm like, y'all didn't coordinate that? No. Anyway, so, Quad said, it was nice to hear the good things Greg said earlier on stage, because before that, he had been lying and misdeceiving and deceiving and all this stuff. He was all in the blogs and on the radio lying on her, talking about how we ain't had sex in years or whatever. That's not true. Greg then said one of the last times we had sex was in 2014 after the reunion. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? He said the time after that, he said we tried to do it, couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. The stress was too much, and that was the last time we even attempted to have sex. And she's like, oh, was that the time that I, got up and ran downstairs crying because I couldn't believe this in my life? He said, yeah, that probably was. He like, yeah, but he like, again, that was the last time we tried to have sex. So this is what I got from that. Quad said, we had not had sex in years. But when he said the last time they had sex, and then said the last time they tried to have sex was then, so what he was saying was true. Y'all haven't been having sex. Okay? You know what I'm saying? She then said, I'm saying, I knew you were cheating because you couldn't get an erection. So again, if your husband can't get an erection, how are y'all having sex? You out your own mouth was confirming what he said was true. Y'all could not have sex. Greg is just saying it was because he was just stressed out. He had too many jobs. You know what I'm saying? I was working 3 jobs. I was overwhelmed and we had issues. And that was the reason why I couldn't get it up. But I wasn't cheating on you. She said, nah, you could get it up, whatever, because you was having sex with other women. Greg keeps denying he had sex with other women. Fine. The whole time they going back, you was cheating. I wasn't cheating. You did get her for not for me. That ain't true. The whole back and forth. And you like, cause it was this ping pong, like back and forth or whatever. So, Quad then say how Greg never took their marriage serious. I'm gonna call bullshit on that Quad. I do feel like from a viewer. Remember y'all, I'm a viewer just like y'all, okay? It seems more like Quad didn't take their marriage serious simply because it seemed that Greg wanted a family. He wanted a wife, he wanted a child. Quad didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Quad did not want that. I don't think anybody can say, well, it seems if Quad was 100% into the marriage and Gregory wasn't taking it serious. Quad wasn't, because she knew they weren't going to be married forever. I think Quad was well aware of that fact pretty early on dating him. Let's just call it spade a spade. Greg then said, well, was I not being serious when you told me that you wasn't happy living in a condo, so I went and bought us a house? Was I not being serious when taking you on trips here and there, spending time with you, whatever? Like, was I not, when I bought you your a nice new car for your birthday? Like, was I not taking our marriage serious when I was, doing things husbands do? I said, damn, that's true. Like, if your wife tell you, I don't like living here, if you not serious about your marriage, we staying here. I don't care. If you not taking the marriage serious, you wouldn't be going on trips. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all gonna say you just don't like Quad. I don't dislike Quad. I can just see through Quad's bullshit, and y'all can't. Okay, and it's okay. All for my eyes. Anyway, he sent on that bullshit or whatever. He still sent how she was the one who wasn't serious. I believe it. Simply because from episode 1, season 1, when they were happy, Greg kept on saying, I love my wife. I want to be with my wife. I want a family with my wife. Quad didn't want that. Quad had every reason on God's green earth to do everything but the one thing that man wanted from his wife was to give him a family. She ain't want that. You want to know why she ain't want that? Because she didn't take this marriage serious. Boom. Anyway, they going back and forth. Andy asked if they can never get back together. Quad like, well, he already dating somebody. You know what I'm saying? He out there in club dancing around or whatever. He said, well, the girl was dancing on me. Greg, shut up. You were dancing with a girl. But he then said, well, she dating too. No, I'm not. He said, well, when you saw me at the club, my friends said they saw you there with somebody too. I was there with a group of people. One guy happened to be sitting next to me. I don't know about that. I don't know. Anyway, Greg then, no, I said that part already. He says how, I love her. I always have loved her, but she was never happy with me. No matter what I did, it didn't matter. Like, she wasn't happy with me, and she wasn't. And I don't think anyone who was Team Quad and can't say that Quad wasn't happy with Greg and she was just there until she could not be there anymore. You're lying. You're lying to yourself. Okay, Quad did not want to be with Greg. She did not. Greg was the best that she could get at the time. Quad, who she is now, that was not who Greg married when they got married. You know what I'm saying? Even look at how Quad was season 1. Season 1 Quad and season 6 Quad is two different people. Why? Because she leveled up. Okay, she used what she got to get what she wants. Okay? Anyway, take it how you live it. They say how, no, he then said, how he would call her, she would hang up the phone, and no. He didn't say that. They showed it with him saying how she was never happy with him no matter what he did. They then showed her hanging up the phone on him. When he was asking her, had she ever blocked her from calling? She said, well, yeah, I have. So they were showing things that showed that she wasn't as easy to deal with as she was making it seem out to be. She was also preventing them from communicating the right way. Even though Greg was probably the aggressive one and always arguing or whatever, but she would just kind of ignore him and just block him out and would not talk to him. They both at fault. Quad then said that Gregory was abusive. They think it was a long thing. This was the only part that I can say it was worth a part 3, but it shouldn't have been a part 3. They should have had like an Andy Cohen separate thing between them two. We didn't need a whole third 3-part reunion. they both are accusing each other of abuse. Quad said how Gregory was abusive and who wants to be with a man who was like verbally abusive and physically abusive or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, abuse? Like, what? Hold up now. Was Greg beating your ass? So this I never heard. This I never knew. So this wasn't a revelation for me. She said at one point he drug her through the house and messed up her knee. How he would be one time he tried to suffocate her. One time he got in a car and said we can both die. At one point he took the battery. He took the battery out of her car, like all this foolishness. And I'm looking like, what? He then say that's not true. We both know who the violent one is here, and when it was her. He then said, no, there were. He then admits. He said there were times where we both got too physical. He then says I never felt good about it, but it was the both of us getting too physical with each other. Quad agrees that they were both physical to each other. Greg never admitted to hitting Quad. And I want to mention that because some of the things the other people say later. But again, he never said he hit her, but he did say things got too physical, which could be something as simple as I'm pushing you, I'm shoving you, I held. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't say like, yeah, I was hitting on her, and or I guess I pulled her down. He say they both got physical with each other, and again she agreed. He then said how she put a knife on him. She says, "Would you slam me to the ground?" He said, "Well, yeah, yes, I did slam you to the ground because you put a knife on me. But I shot it that you stabbed me." And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I was just so confused. You know what I'm saying? Andy, like, this relationship seems toxic. So what do we need to do for you two to peacefully move forward? Greg says, I loved you. I've always loved you and I want you to be happy. You know what I'm saying? If I ever hurt you, I'm very sorry. I did the best I could. If I could redo things, do things differently, I would try that. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like we need to let this go and move forward. Qua say, and I agree. Okay, I agree. I want you to be happy as well. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't apologize for anything she did. Quad is oh Lord Jesus. And then she's sitting up there trying to cry and one of tears coming out. I feel like she wanted to say how she still loved him, but she couldn't get tears out at the same time. So she's kind of, sat there, kept shoving her lip. Not that I don't, y'all know I don't believe Quad. I think Quad Googles emotions and tries to play them off to people. I don't, anyway. She just say how, saying, I want to say something to him, but he don't deserve it. He don't deserve it. And he say, you want to say you love him? I can't say that. So she ain't want to say it. But I said, I think she did not want to say it because she couldn't squeeze out no tears. They then have like a regular conversation. She say, how are you, Gregory? I'm good, working a lot. I'm saying, how are you, Quad? I'm good, the same. You know what I'm saying? You been working out? Yeah, I've been working out. Y'all heard you been running around the neighborhood. He like, yeah, I have. It was a conversation. He was smiling, she was smiling. You know what I'm saying? It ended on a positive note. They both said how the other one looked good. It ended on a positive note. And at the end of the day, I mean, they hugged. They hugged it out, and it ended on a positive note, which makes me feel like did y'all set us up for the oh, his suit looked different in this different light. So maybe okay, they didn't set us up. His suit looked different, but you see in that one they both look blue, but in this one you see it looks different. But yeah. They don't need to be together, like at all. Like they just don't. I think they need to move on. We do see the men in the back talking to Greg when they get off stage. We see Jackie and Heavenly talking to Quad. Not Quad can push out some tears. Um, after all this, I still love him. This is crazy, and I don't think she mean that in the aspect of I want to be with him. I think she mean that in the aspect of he was my husband. I used him for what I could. It didn't work out, but I still have love for him, and I'm gonna move on. Okay. They all agree though, both the guys and the women, y'all shouldn't be together. Should not be together. But hopefully this can help y'all be friends. Meaning next season we can have both Quad and Greg around us and it won't be an issue. Because if Gregory marries somebody else, she can be the new Married to Medicine lady. And they don't have to take Quad off. Anyway, that was the most it was for this. I'm gonna still talk about other stuff, but this thing did not need to be 2 hours. So I'm gonna pop out of frame because I want to show y'all both sides of the couples. So we had the men and it was two sides of the couples. What I meant to say. So um on separate sides of the couch. So, all the couples come out. Initially, Quiet was not out there. She came out a little bit later. When I got that picture. Contessa brings up how if she had known that, they had abuse in their relationship, she would not have encouraged them to work things out. Mariah then said, "We don't know that now." And I'm like, "Well, no, we do know that because they both just admitted it, or whatever." Have like, when a man hits a woman, it's really, really wrong. When anyone hits anyone, is wrong. If a man hit a woman or if a woman hit a man, it's wrong. I'm a firm believer is we as women cannot be out here hitting men and then feel like if they hit us back, they're more wrong than us because we're men. We shouldn't put our hands on them and they damn sure should not put their hands on us. So I'm gonna leave that there. Anyway, Mariah and Toya both say how, you know what I'm saying, well, he did not admit to hitting her. Neither one of them admitted to hitting. They just said it was physical. And he was like, well, they both admitted to being physical with each other. So, it means what it means. They were trying to show the distinction between Gregory admitting that he hit Quad versus admitting things got physical. I do understand there's a difference between if someone um, drags you down the hall by your foot, like on The Real World, which is what I think it was what David did to Tammy. Jokingly, he had Tammy leg and was pulling her down the hall. Tammy got pissed off about that, whatever. But that's different than, and that was on The Real World years and years ago. But it's the difference between if a person grabs you by your foot and like drags you down the hall, you just lad down the hall, versus if someone physically like is punching you and hitting you. I think that's the distinction that Toya and Mariah and even Simone was trying to make to Contessa and Heavenly. Whereas Heavenly thing was if he hit her, he wrong as hell. But anyway. Heavenly said, y'all be forgiving a lot of stuff. I don't think they're forgiving anything. And I also feel like if Quad also admitted that she was also physical towards Gregory, we can't make Gregory more wrong than we make Quad if they both did the exact same thing to each other. Like they both need to keep their hands to themselves. Like we all need to keep our hands to ourselves. Point blank and period. Anyway, Quad, of course, then comes out and, she tells the ladies how, she had been holding things in for a long time. She didn't want nobody to know how her and Greg had been abusive to each other. But she tells them how she did not mean to shut them out. She just had to deal with stuff in her own way. Okay, very, very true. Simone tells, like, me and everybody in my family, we love you. And if you need us at any point in time, we know we're going to be here for you. Girl, they cuss each other out in one moment and then they besties the next. Can't be me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't have that kind of toxic energy with people I call friends. Like, it's one thing to have a disagreement about one thing or the other, but me and you can't be out here beefing and arguing and fussing, fighting. Like, bitch, we can't do all that. Well, fuck, can't do that. Like, the people in my life who I did that with, I'm no longer friends with because that toxic energy will stay around and you would, because every season they beefing out. Like, we ain't got not one good season of a whole season of nobody not arguing because it's a little bit toxic. I don't want that. Anyway, but I hope they need to grow up and just stop being petty for medicine's sake on the TV show. Jackie brings up how it's painful for all the couples to see Quad and Greg go through any of it. They don't want to see either person hurt because remember, they're all both friends with Quad and Greg. Okay, even though the ladies are more friends with Quad and even though the guys are more friends with Gregory, those are still they're friends. You know what I'm saying? So I like how Jackie said, like, you know what I'm saying, it's hard for us to see that because we don't want to see either one of them hurt. So hopefully from this, they'll both be able to be happy and find happiness, in other endeavors. And Quad say, I'm going to be happy come hook or crook. I'm gonna make my next life my best life. And Quad does deserve happiness. I just hope the next person she marries, she truly wants to be with them, and she truly wants to be married and have a marriage and have a family. And if she marries a man who wants children, that she will give him that gift and not marry someone and not give them what they're asking for. And once you realize, saying what he want, I don't want, let it go and move on. Anyway, again, I don't even really what did they talk about next? It was a couple like little viewer questions about Toya giving Eugene coochie coupons, and she said, "What's my coochie is expensive, you know what I'm saying, it's the best thing in the world, it's him in the top notch of everything, it's up echelon, and you know what I'm saying, even if he gave me a diamond ring, a new little diamond, whatever, my coochie coupons is just as great because my vagina is amazing." Yeah, she said her vagina, whatever. Contessa then say, "Well, that's an old gift." You know what I'm saying? He gets it all the time. And while it was shady as fuck, ooh, it was so shady to call Toya's coochie. Oh, I got what she meant. Toya like, my coochie now, Eugene, you better tell her. You know what I'm saying? That my coochie good. You like, I'm perfectly happy with our sex life. It's great. I think what Contessa meant in her shady ass comment was you're giving him a coupon for something he always has. Like, he has open invitation to your coochie. I'm looking like, I remember coochie coupons was a joke back in the 90s that Adele Givens would do in her shows. Like, Adele Givens is a comedian, she's a black female comedian, and she had a skit in her comedy show back on BET Comic View days where she would say like, or Def Comedy Jam on HBO. Say your man doing something good or whatever, your man doing good or he do whatever, give him a coochie coupon. And it was a joke like if he put gas in your tank, if he, you know what I'm saying, just do whatever night you give him a coochie coupon. So I remember the joke from back in the day. So I also get her saying like that's something. Oh, I get that because I remember the joke and where it came from years ago. But again, I'm not giving my man a coochie coupon because he has access to it. You know what I'm saying? If I don't feel like fucking you, even if you have a coupon, you can't get it. But whatever. We see Jackie bring up how, well, not bring up, but they asked Jackie about when she said that if Curtis doesn't immediately answer about where he was, if he kind of hesitate and think about it, she questions if he's being honest or whatever. She said, I still do get nervous. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that will easily go away. We have to remember it don't take a couple months or even a year. It can take people a couple years to move past infidelity. And I think it was honest of her to admit that she still has that thought in the back of her head because it's still new for them. Curtis says how, we're in a good place now and we keep getting better. That's all you can say. They asked Cecil about if he's still off work because we know last season he was, got laid off. He is still laid off, but he got a good severance package, as he said. He said, "But I need to start looking at something before before Simone get mad." And it's true. I mean, it is what it is. We found out that Aiden is still weighing his options for the new employer group with his practice, and he has he's under a year contract, so he's still trying to figure out how things gonna go, and they might have to go to LA. I do feel like if they had Married to Medicine LA, it could just parlay her to going over there. But again, they said this before they announced the Married to Medicine LA thing. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that either way it go, Mariah will be fine. We then see the whole thing between Contessa and Toya, and that was basically the whole rest of the reunion. It was them going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Look, I don't want to even get into the whole thing between them, but look, Contessa and Toya, baby. Yes, look how Toya was mad. She was so mad that she was, what I'm saying, yelling and fussing and cussing or whatever. It was just team too much. It was very much so team too much for me. Simply because we found out some things, okay? So Toya, brings up first about the house building. It's going great. They're gonna close in February or around February. How the budget went from 2 million to 1.6 because she's been making payments and stuff like that. And she brings up how she has learned a lot about finances, on stuff, and not going into debt since they were in debt. So she, even though people was complaining about her saying how much she needed a two-story closet, she's still smart enough to know they're still saving for stuff and they're not spending too much. They're basically now living, within their means. Then Andy asked Contessa what she thinks about Toya's spending habits. And she says, well, I'm happy they found their forever home or whatever because they've been living like refugees for a while. I said, bitch, refugees? Contessa said they've been living like refugees for a while. Oh, shit. Refugees? I said, oh, bitch. And again, was like, God damn it, Contessa. Girl, you shady. It was a shady ass comment. But I mean, Toya and Eugene have moved like every year. So that's what refugees do. Refugees are people who don't really have a home. They're just kind of going from place to place. Like they're consistently searching for refuge. So bitch, it was perfect. It was shady, but what? You don't even know me, bitch. And then it started. The yelling from Toya, the contest, like, whatever, She's like, everything that I've said has always been in retaliation to something that you said or you did. Toya, like, you've been coming at me all season. We are not friends. We are not friends. I'm like, oh my God, here go the yelling. I can agree they're not friends. I can't agree. We know Toya. I don't think Toya and Contessa were ever really friends. How they tried to introduce Contessa to the show. I do also feel like that the things that Contessa has been saying recently, not that first comment when Toya had that first party about being in the black or being in the red or whatever, and Contessa like, who has a party about paying bills? Like that's regular stuff. I think since then, since that friction then, Toya be saying and doing stuff, and then Contessa responds. And then because Contessa responds, Toya again will respond herself. So it's like a whole back and forth thing. I don't think either one of them is innocent. I think it's mutual on both ends. So I'm like, who cares? Contessa says something. I don't know if y'all caught it, and I think they cut off what she said, but we hear Contessa clearly say, I met you at the show because it was a casting call, meaning we didn't know each other before this show. We met because we both wanted to be on the show. I'm like, oh, So when Andy asked Toya, well, why did you take the phone call with Contessa and then have it on speakerphone and then have it with the microphone? She never really answered the question. Well, that was Heavenly. Heavenly was being messy because Heavenly called and no one should have called Toya. Da, 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 da. The fact that Heavenly called Contessa does not mean that you should have put the phone on speaker and then held the microphone to the phone to let everybody hear. So I'm like, she never answered that question. My battery low. She never answered that question, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But that was Heavenly being messy. No, Heavenly. Heavenly then said, it wasn't me. No, I wasn't being messy, bitch. Oops, I didn't mean to say bitch. Oh, you wanna go there, Heavenly? You wanna go there? I'm like, Toya. Eugene in the back, like, okay. Toya mad, like Toya's angry right now. It's gonna be Hurricane Toya. Girl, calm the fuck down. Anyway, we see that whole thing, okay? Cool. But Toya still would not admit in the aspect of you took that phone and you put it on speaker and you then put the microphone up. She then said, I didn't even know that her daddy was sick. We all saw Scott tell you before Heavenly called Contessa. Okay, we before that. Now, even though Heavenly, did I call Contessa? I didn't call Contessa. You called Contessa. But whatever. Toya lying because I didn't know. Yes, you did, because Scott told you. And so Contessa didn't say, well, but once you found out, you still never said, like, okay, I understand why you did not come. You kept trying to make it seem as if I was lying about my own daddy. Like, it was a bunch of bullshit. I'm so tired of them. You know what I'm saying? Quiet. They then asked her if you really believe Toya hit your boo on purpose on the island. She said yes. Based on Toya being a piece of shit, she's a foul ass person, she'll do anything for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, we don't get along. So, in my opinion, she's a piece of shit. Quiet say, I don't think, because Quiet was there. Quiet was there. We see Toya say, well, I kept saying sorry. They play the audio. She did say sorry. But in the same aspect of, oops, you just hit me. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. Girl, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. But you keep going. I think what Contessa meant was after it happened and you then heard that I was hurt, you never came back and like talked to me regularly. But I'm like, who cares? Y'all ain't friends. Again, both of them, not right, not wrong. They both is on even kill. Quad then say, look, I don't think that Toya hit her on purpose. However, based on their relationship and the friction between them two, I completely get why Contessa thought that she did. Like, it's because of they were feuding. If you feuding with somebody, you not getting along with somebody, and they just so happen to hit you in your booty, your booby, your boob, you gonna think, man, she did this on purpose because y'all beefing. It's just what it is. So I like how quiet, made sense of it. Like it ain't that, Contessa pulled out her ass, but she like me and this girl beefing and she just also happened to do that. And then I'm saying, girl, bye. Contessa then said like for me, the following day I was over it. But if you see, she was mean to me the whole trip. She kept saying little snack comments or whatever. It was a bunch of bullshit. She's like, I was over the following day. That's why I tried to give her a hug. But she held on to it. She held on to it. But I don't care. Like, I don't care. She's like, just keep my name out your mouth. And that was it. And that was really the end of girl. The end of the reunion. They all say how they kind of learn stuff from each other. They all say how they know Jackie is the peace and calm of all their storms. Heavenly even brought up how the reason she thinks that Jackie is the calm, like the connection between them all, is because she has such a calming voice, and it just kind of soothes the situation. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? They learn stuff from each other, how they are a circle of friends or sisters or whatever who have issues that need to be resolved. And that was it. So guess what, y'all? I'm done. They don't need to have not nan 3-part reunion ever again. Like no 3-part, not a 2-part. No, it need to be 1.5. I'll give it 2. I'll give 2-part reunions. No reunion needs to be more than 3. Needs to be more than 2 parts, unless y'all don't take out all that extra bullshit. Okay, all the extra bullshit. Anyway, I'm done, y'all. Peace.
He's like love, 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 and music.